This isn't just a video, it's a reminder of who you're becoming. Every clip you see reflects the energy of a woman stepping into her power, confident, grounded, and magnetic. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to become her.
This is just a formal PSA that you can live a life like this if you just know how to talk to people. Communication and talking to people is the number one skill set that will set you up for success in your life. Whether that's starting a business, networking, whatever you do, it's all about the art of communication. So there's one tip that I'm going to leave you with in the next 60 seconds that is going to make you a lot of money no matter what you do. And that is, no matter what conversation you go into, you need to know what internal motivation somebody has. Meaning everybody wants something, whether that's validation, whether that's reassurance, whether it's problem solution. Your life will get immediately better and your bank account will get immediately fatter when you know how to identify this and then capitalize on that. So I'm going to teach you how to identify it and how to capitalize on it. How you identify it is in the subliminal messages of what somebody's saying. So if they bring up like their business or how much money they make, they probably want to feel good about themselves. So what are you going to do? You're going to kind of fluff them up, make them feel like the big guy or the big girl. You're going to give them a lot of validation, like, oh my gosh, what you're doing is so cool, blah, blah, blah. Asking them a ton of questions, that way it can open up the floodgates for them to open up and talk about themselves. Or if they're telling you a lot about a problem, they probably want your advice, either some reassurance or to help solve that problem, because it's something that's on their mind that they want out of somebody else. This is how you connect with somebody. And when it comes to capitalizing on it, you have to think about what you want. So now that you got what they want and they feel good about it, what do you want out of it? Do you want a connection? Do you want a friendship? Do you want a relationship? Do you want a job opportunity? What the hell is it? The biggest tip with this, and it's different with every conversation, is just to ask. Ask to connect. Ask to network. Ask for that frickin' job. Ask for them to connect you to some other person. Like, whatever you want out of the conversation, just be bold about it. And if you're like, damn, I could do that in a conversation, guess what? I just taught you sales. And you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales. That is what I do, and that is what I teach my girls to do. I teach them how to travel the world and make money closing deals on remote sales calls. So all day, they're just listening to people's problems and then solving it by offering them the product or service that they're selling. And instead of a random conversation that you don't get paid for, they're getting paid lots of money for it.
Here's how to become like the best conversationalist no matter what situation you're in, regardless of whether you've met this person before or you're talking to them for the first time. A couple of years ago, I went through this rabbit hole on the internet trying to figure out how to become more likable, and also trying to figure out how some people are so charismatic and engaging when they speak and others are not. And I came across this one video that kind of changed the way that I approach conversations now. This is really hard to do, but obviously when you're having a conversation with someone, you should really be listening to what they're saying and being super present. But a point that the video made was to only focus on being of service to the other person. Once I heard that, I was like, damn. So I made the switch. From then on, in conversations, my goal was to find out as much as I could about the other person. Where before I would tell a lot of stories about myself trying to help them understand me, I flipped it and started trying to understand them as much as I could. Everybody wants to feel like they're important and listened to, so if you can switch the focus of the conversation from you to the other person, the conversation is going to flow. So talk less about yourself and ask a lot of questions about the other person.
You're someone who's like, oh my god, I don't know how to talk to people, I'm so bad at flirting, I'm so bad at keeping convo going. This is for you, pay close attention. It's a basic rule of thumb you should live by if you want to increase your ability to talk. When in doubt, just ask them a question. Most people, including myself, we like to talk about ourselves. We like to feel like you want to know stuff about us. It's the easiest way to trick someone into thinking that you're making the conversation go more, when in reality you're just making them talk more. Add your input into something they say. Add your opinion into something. If you agree with it, tell them why you agree. If you don't agree with it, tell them why you don't agree. Part of keeping convo going is having your personality included in it. Expression the fuck out of that motherfucking conversation. Okay, laugh. People like to feel like they're funny. Get excited when you're talking about the things you're excited about. Be chill, be serious when you need to be. Nod your head to make them think you're paying more attention than you actually are. Questions, input, and expression. That's all you gotta know.
You're not unlikable, you're not socially awkward, you just haven't been taught how to connect. That's what I will be teaching you today, so listen up. When you meet someone new or walk into a new room, you don't necessarily have to be smiling, like, completely, because that's just weird, but just have an energy, like an aura of being comfortable with yourself, being comfortable with everyone around you, and people will pick up on that. When you're sitting down next to someone, make sure to ask if anyone's sitting there, because that establishes the first sort of point of contact with you guys, and they're gonna be like, okay, they're chill, and that'll lead to further conversation. This is the most important thing I would say that no one taught me. But don't be looking for connection. If you're trying to make new friends, don't be looking for new friends. Don't be trying to do that. That sounds counterintuitive, but if you act as though you have all the friends you need while still being open and talking to other people, they're gonna want to be your friend. Use these tips and stay tuned for part 2.
I'm going to teach you to communicate in a way that will make you better than like 99% of other individuals out there. And this is what you need to consider, is that in your communication process, you're not communicating for yourself, you're communicating for the other person. I know this is probably an unpopular opinion because, we need to express our individuality and all that, but if you are truly communicating because you care about the other person, you need to consider how they receive your communication. And therefore, all communication needs to be based on what they need to receive. And so, if they are telling you a story, if they are expressing some type of emotion, it is crucial to engage in some type of validation in that story, in that emotion. So typically what most of us do is somebody tells us a story or an anecdote, and we just all of a sudden just share something similar from our own lives. That's not what the other person wanted. They did not want an anecdote from your life. They wanted you to express a similar emotion to what they were expressing in their anecdote. So if their anecdote was sad, if their communication was sad, if it was happy, if it was silly, that is the emotion they want you to express. So if someone was telling you something really funny, then they want you to laugh. They want you to share in the emotion that they are experiencing. This is a bid for connection. This is how we create connection between human beings. We do not create connection by somebody sharing a story and then somebody else sharing another story. That's not how connection happens. So obviously, once you've engaged in that kind of bid for connection, that bid for emotion, then you can go on and tell your story. But it's really that kind of pause, that bridge that needs to happen to create real connection and to make that relationship stronger and make that person feel really seen, really heard. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't express your individuality in communication. I'm just saying if you're communicating with the purpose of helping another individual, of creating a bond, creating an emotional connection, this is how you.
This is called articulation. Honestly, you'd be surprised, but a lot of people don't practice their articulation, and it does end up showing debate in their speech, in their conversation. So the easiest way to articulate your words better, really just grab a pen, a marker, anything, and start talking with the marker in your mouth. You're gonna notice that to talk to you, I have to enunciate words so much more when the pen is in my mouth. Keep doing this repeatedly, 30 seconds a day to a minute. Your enunciation is going to be insane. What this does is it teaches you the patterns you need to be able to speak more clearly, even when the pen is not in your mouth anymore. Instead of stumbling over your words, or instead of mumbling and talking like this when you're not really supposed to be, whether it's professional or casual, whatever, you're speaking a bit slower as well, because this also forces you to speak a bit slower, and you're going to speak more clearly.
Your future self is proud of you. Keep showing up, keep glowing up, and never stop becoming her. If you resonated with this video, subscribe for more.